Okay, welcome back again. We are finally into Nuke and how it works with our pipeline. First thing I want to show you, obviously Nuke loads up just the same way as anything else. And the things that we're going to go over this time are mainly within the pipeline menu here at the top. We're just going to go through a few of these. Not all these are needed or something we can circle back to at a later time. But the first thing I do want to show you that is different is you will notice that within your viewer tab, there is also a new tab for Visual Importer. This is an exact replica of the software that you saw outside of Nuke, but we have also imported it in here. So it makes it really nice and clean for us to import any new renders or plates or anything else that we do require. You'll see automatically it defaults to our shot, which is here. We can see that we have a clean plate and an L1 plate. So I'm just going to select both of those and just start by right-clicking and go Plate Importer, and it'll bring those plates directly into our scripts. So we have two here. We have the L1 plate and the clean plate. Once we are here, the one thing that Nuke does not do by default is necessarily set up all of its shot information to the exact resolution and so forth of the shot. It's showing here that we have a 4K plate, but we're set at HD. Frame range on this plate is 1200, so it did take that into account. But we do have an awesome little tool. Simply just select your main background plate that is the correct length. And you're going to use the hotkey Meta S. So Meta Windows, depends what keyboard you have, you can certainly figure this out, but Meta S, it prompts you immediately for naming the new format. We're just going to call this one Southwest because that's the project I'm on. Press OK. And it's going to default the frame range to that shot. It's going to default the size and the FPS to that, and we just confirm. Then all of our settings down here will now say Southwest at the correct range, frame rates, all of that. So whatever your hero plate is, Meta S, as in Sam, will give you that option to just set all your project settings straight away, which is super helpful. So as far as this menu goes, it's really great because you can also toggle back to, say, you're looking at the comp from another shot and you want to match to that and so forth. I don't have a comp for this shot, so excuse me. But let's just say we want the plate. I can simply go to any plate that I want, just bring in those references or those comps or those renders, just simply going in and out of this Visual Importer menu. So that's how we bring plates in and out, how we set up the comp. Let's go through the pipeline tab. As far as saving the scene, so the scene is already saved as we created it to this naming convention. We can click on Save Scene or Version Up if we want to go to another version. But if we do Save Scene, there's a couple things that are helpful here. This is a very basic menu. If you just want to version up by default, it pops up the Save dialog. You press OK. We're going to go up to version 2, which I'll just do. So we're up to version 2, as you can see clearly up here. Let's go back to that again, though. So we showed you how to create a pre-comp outside of Nuke, but you can also create a pre-comp within Nuke in a sense. So you can take this script and say you want to duplicate it to an alt version, or you do want to take a section of it and create a pre-comp. By doing the alt save, you can just simply change the name to a pre-comp, or specifically you would probably want to name it a pre-comp. Or whatever it is, but you can do that and the naming convention will automatically change to pre-comp. So this is outside of your main comp now. You could delete any nodes you don't want and just kind of keep it as a pre-comp for what you do want, rather than copying and pasting nodes between scripts and creating multiple scripts. It's just a way to do that inside of Nuke. So that's one nice little tool. So here within the pipeline tab, also the other thing I want to look at is the copy and paste function. The copy and paste function is going back to what we discussed in the first tutorial and the UI. It's this clipboard. So the copy and paste will allow us to copy things to this clipboard, and if we're in any other scripts, we can paste those into our scripts directly. It's a good way for us to hand off setups or looks or anything else to any other artist that's on the job. So let's just say I want to take this plate and let's just throw color correct underneath here, do something wonky with it, and then let's do a roto setup underneath it as well. Say we're wanting to hand this off. So I can just select all the nodes that I have, and you can go up to the pipeline tab, press copy, and it'll create a name. And we'll just call this test setup. When I press OK, it will now save that information into the clipboard. So if I go back to the clipboard within VX and click refresh, I will now see that there is a test setup here for everyone to access. Now, if I'm another artist that I'm wanting to bring something in from someone else that's already created it, I go to paste. This UI pops up and it will show every element that has been copied to the clipboard. You can look for it by name, you can search the clipboard, whatever the person tells you it is. But if I click test setup and press OK, it'll bring that setup right back in. Super helpful for all artists and big jobs and trying to share information. You just need to make sure that the other artist knows what it's called. There's also a lot of stuff within this pipeline channel, exporting cameras and so forth, that you guys can go through at your own pace. Those are just a couple of the highlights that I'd like to show off, and I'll go through a few more of those in the following tutorials.